some stuff. Hydrate up. Listen,
Yeah. So getting more thirsty.
fuck, if things get real bad, you have to go to Raymond Scott. Ah! Did you pee yourself? What's wrong, Mr. Smith? Mr. Smith?
If I'm gonna get that 5-star waifu, 120 hours into the game, that might be worth it.
That might be worth it.
Or I could just install and uninstall and reinstall until I get those big titties. That the 0.2% chance.
I brought two just in case someone wants one.
All right. You boys about ready?
It's already, of course. Already.
Oh shit. Well,
Let's count down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everyone. Vaccine break. Everyone got what they needed. Great. So now we're gonna talk about the fusion hype that is Fuma. Fuma? Fuma. I think
Did you say
it's
Numa?
Numa, yeah, Numa. Thank you, Miss Chavez. That's 10 points. Anyways, Numa. Silence.
Numa.
Pokemon's acting up. Anyways, Numa. Numa is basically a fusion between Pyra and Mithra, and they're just one blade. And it's revealed by the architect that Numa is essentially an AI that was from the past universe. Because it's time for the biggest twist in Xenoblade 2. Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2 are happening at the same time. This is all happening. They're all in separate universes that are connected. The architect is Klaus. It's Halford Klaus. He was split when the universe was created, and all this is happening at the same exact time. That's right. So when you kill Klaus in Xenoblade 1, it's the same time that Klaus in Xenoblade 2 is dying. That's why he has a time limit before he goes away. Right? And Pyra, Numa, yes.
Who's Klaus in Xenoblade 2?
The architect.
Oh, okay.
Klaus was split into two beings after the universe was reset. From all the way back. All the way back before all of this.
How do we know it's just 2?
What?
How do we know it's just 2?
Just 2? Just 2? We don't know.
Okay.
But apparently it's just 2 because Klaus is in those 2. So we can only assume. But he talks about 3 AIs. He talks about Numa, which is one of them. Malos is one of them. And the third one is unknown. But after that is revealed, Rex has only a certain amount of time to... Yes, Mr. Soto.
Do we get to know who's the third one?
You'll learn about that later. Keep that in mind. Anyways, finally, after you defeat Malos, Klaus dies. And when Klaus dies, the whole world tree will collapse. And the top of the world tree is actually in fucking space, dog. It's that high, It's actually this big old space station, right? So it begins to crumble down, right? And Numa knows everything about the world tree now because she has her final power. She gets everything, right? And she makes a promise with one of the best characters in Xenoblade 2, Poppy. Poppy is cute robot lolly. She's really funny. She's just a big sweetheart throughout the whole game, right? And when they were at the bottom near the dead whale, they made a promise together, right? Because they both kind of fear for their own existence, Pyra is, a weapon of mass destruction, essentially. And Poppy is this artificial blade. Yeah, she's a robot. She's an artificial blade that a Napon named Tora created so he could become a driver. Because he's so whacked that he's unable to use core crystals. He's not chat enough, right? So he made his own blade, which is already Chad, which is already pretty fucking cool. So finally, they make a promise with each other, right? That if I do something risky, this is Mithra speaking. This is both Pyra and Mithra speaking. If I do something reckless or crazy, you have to let me do it, because this is how I want to go out. All right? Can you promise me that? And then Poppy promised her, right? And Poppy has all these cool gadgets. You know, she has a grapple hook. Like, they use that all the time. Poppy is like the most versatile member of the whole party. So at the end of the game, Numa comes up with this idea. Like, hey guys, there's jet engines, right? We can push the world tree back so we're able to escape, right? It's this, like, she comes up with this excuse, right? To, like, get everyone here, right? And they all run, they all dash to the station where the engines are. And instead of engines, they find escape pods, right? And Rex is like, what? You know, this doesn't make sense. Why are there escape pods? Where's the engines, right? And then it's revealed that it was all bullshit, because there's no way to save everyone unless they get away from the space pods, and one person has to activate it. And that's going to be Numa. So Numa has to separate from Rex, aka Pyra, aka Mithra. Have to separate from Rex forever, because she's not going to survive this if the tree blows up.
I mean, pull one out for Rex.
Pull one out for Rex. And it's the most emotional moment ever, because he begs Poppy to help him, because Numa decides to blow up the bridge that was towards the space station, towards the escape pods, right? And the gap is too big for Rex to jump over. So he's like, oh, Poppy's grapple hook. I'm gonna use that. Poppy, let's just jump over there. I need to be with Pyra. I wanna be with Mithra. And she says no. She said, I can't do it. I promised her. And she's on the verge of tears when Rex desperately tries to make her do it, but she just refuses because she promised. And then Rex brings that up. Rex brings up, aren't we connected? I'm gonna die too. I'm gonna die with you, near me. And then it's revealed that the Aegis can survive without the crystal for about an hour. So she gets the crystal and she pushes away from itself and gives it all to Rex. Rex has all the crystals of the Aegis, aka he can survive on its own. And Mithra is like guaranteed to die. And he's devastated by this. He can't even fucking move. He did everything, all the stuff in the Spirit Crucible, all the stuff about Elysium, all the stuff he had to do. At the end of the day, he does not get the girl. The girl has to die for him to live on. And at the end of the game, when Rex is on the floor, Zach goes up to him. Zach, the chattest member of the party, he's just like, that's the woman you love, Rex. And you gotta let her go, man. And so he gets up, they all go through the escape pods, and they leave the world tree before it collapses. Right? Yes?
Why is the world tree collapsing?
Because the architect isn't there. Because Shulk just killed other Klaus, right? So the tree is falling, because the architect is now dead. So they all leave, and the space pod they have breaks. They're gonna die, right? I didn't mention this because it wasn't really important, but he shows up again. Rex has a Titan of his own. He has his own kind of boat slave.
Old Man Titan.
Old Man Titan. That became Baby Man Titan. He's back. And suddenly Baby Man Titan becomes a regular Titan and saves them. Saves them all, and they all fly over the world. And the world looks destroyed. The world's like almost gone. Yes, Mr. Soto.
How do you become a regular Titan? Doesn't it like take years?
A regular Titan? It's not going. It's just like he magically like gets all his like Titan powers back.
So, just for the plot.
Just for the plot, yes.
Is
Just to save her.
small.
Just to add tension. Pretty dumb, but that's what happened. So they get saved by Rex's Titan, and they're overlooking the world. Yes, Mr. Smith.
So, blades are like titans that died out. I'm
Yes.
guessing, and the blade can eventually transform into a titan, right?
Yes. That's how the cycle is supposed to be, but the Pope stopped
Yeah,
that.
but the Pope stopped it. What about him?
Oh, he was just damaged as a Titan, so he became a mini Titan. so kind of like a blade. And he's on like Rex's back for the whole game. Sorry, I forgot to mention.
Wasn't he like basically reborn?
Sorta. But if he was reborn, he wouldn't have any memories. But he still has all his memories, so he just kind of reverted back.
Yeah, he just restarted.
Yeah, kind of just like, oh, I gotta go to a weaker form. I can't carry out this big form. So he suddenly just becomes big form. I guess he's like okay now. It's not really explained, but he's okay now, and he saves the whole party. And they overlook all of like Xenoblade's 2 world across the ocean. The Cloud Sea is gone, and you just see water. And everyone's freaking out. This is like a weird thing, because it's always been the Cloud Sea, and now it's just regular water, and people don't know like what the fuck happened.
Wait.
You know? Yes, Mr. Soto.
Why did the clouds disappear?
Because the architect's gone.
So he controlled the clouds?
He controlled everything. He made everything. But because he's gone, like everything's kind of reverting back into a different kind of set, right? So they're overlooking the world, and they're like, "Oh, yes, Mr. Smith."
So if in Xenoblade 1, the wish was basically like, oh, with no gods and everything,
Mm-hmm.
would that mean?
Yes,
over
it would affect the
there-
world of Xenoblade 2.
So wouldn't that make it so there would just be no land?
Bingo, Dominic. God damn, you were such a good. That's like plus 100 points. Oh my god. Because that's what happens. That's exactly what happens. The Titans become regular. Yes, Mr. Soto.
Excuse me, hit -3, so it should be 97.
I'm not a math teacher, Mr. Soto, okay? I'm not a math teacher, okay. But thank you for your technicality. You know what? You get 200 points.
What?
97.
Minus.
It shouldn't be 210 since already.
I'm not good at math. Anyway, essentially, all the land masses, all the Titans, go into one giant. They form Pangea, essentially. They all revert into normal land because there's no architect, there's no gods controlling them, and they just become a part of the world, right? And now all the civilizations are connected on this big continent of Pangea. And it's like realize it's just like what happened to Shulk, you know? Things are just at its kind of natural course without the meddling of the architect. Yes, Mr. Smith.
They don't know that, like...
Yeah, they have no idea who Shulk is. Unless you buy the DLC. Unless, like, you can get Shulk in the game. Yeah, that's not really all that can. But, yeah.
It's just fan fiction.
Yeah, just essentially it's fan fiction. Yes, Mr. Soto.
So the big titans became land?
Yes.
Or what about the smaller titans?
The Smart Titans are also a part of that. It's like amalgamation of all the Titans just become rocks.
So well, that means
Pour one out for Old Man Tiger.
yeah.
But for some reason he's okay and he survives.
Of course.
Of course, right? Of course.
What?
But like the ending is almost perfect. Rex realizes that hey, maybe I don't get to grow my dreams, but you know we did something good for the world, and it's this big, amazing, triumphant moment, and it's beautiful. Like when I saw Numa left Rex, I cried because it was such a great moment. But then guess what? Because Rex held on to the core crystals, Pyra comes back. She comes back to life for no reason, right? And guess what? Mithra's back too. They have 2 separate bodies now. So Rex can date them both, dude. Polygamy for the win, dude. You know what? Nia can join in too. Because you get to see her at the end of the title screen holding all 3 of their hands. So Rex gets 3 waifus, bro.
Oh, he only has 2 hands.
Yeah, I do. No,
What
they're
do you
holding each
mean?
other. They're holding
He's
each other.
got 3 limbs, 3
Yeah.
arms on him.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, there you go. That's the end of Xenoblade 2. Rex gets all the waifus. None of that meant anything. Pyra, Mithra's sacrifice, bunch of bullshit.
I agree with this ending.
Polygamy, bro. This is not a Christian game. Clearly, it's not a Christian game. Yes, Mr. Edward.
If all the Titans turn into land,
I saw it.
why don't the blades turn back into like land or something?
I don't know. It's not explained. Yes, Mr. Smith.
But like, the 3 of them, they're still the same blade, right?
The 2 of them.
Yeah.
Pyra, Mithra. Yes.
they're still the same blade.
Yes.
So like, how do they just randomly just?
It's never explained.
Well,
Rex gets waifus.
well, they do have like different design weapons though, so I'm guessing they.
But they are the same weapon.
Yeah.
Where's
they just
Numa?
have a-
Pyra is just weaker Mithra. That's explained in the story. That's what Adam did. Adam sealed Pyra and she sealed Mithra and became Pyra. But for some reason, they're two separate people now.
Maybe they just split powers.
They just split the power. Yeah, I get. The problem is Xenoblade 2 never explains this, and it's just for like a fucking feel good campy ending. It's like one of the worst things about Xenoblade 2 is the ending because it makes everything that happened on the quest almost meaningless. But hey, you get 3 waifus, dog.
I mean, I can see why it happened. You know, it's not too far off.
Well, it's not far off. It just destroys any like sentimental value it had.
Basically, what's the point of her sacrificing herself?
Yeah, exactly. If she knew the idea that she knew she would come back makes me mad because she could just explain that to Rex.
Did she knew she was gonna come back?
We don't know because that's never explained. If Pyro was like, hey, Rex, I'm gonna give away my core crystal. I'll be back later. Peace. Everything would have been fine, right? But she just randomly shows up at the end for no discernible reason.
That just seems like too much of a good thing.
Yeah, it's too much of a good ending. It's a total asshole, and it totally ruins any type of like sentimental value that Xenoblade 2 had. But still, overall, that's Xenoblade 2. That's how it ends. You get triple waifus. But now we gotta talk about my theory. This is all theory. It's like if you want to leave the presentation, you can do it now because I'm done with all the Xenoblade games. But here we go. My idea of Xenoblade 3, because I feel like Xenoblade 3 will exist. And there's some certain things that are kind of out there. One big one that Mr. Soto pointed out is the third AI. The third AI is never explained, right? Klaus just said, hey, there's AI 1, 2, and 3. We never see the fucking third one, right? There's also some weird loose ends in Xenoblade 1 about, you know, what happened to the machine, all the other people in it. And yeah, dude. Oh shit, I totally forgot this part of the lecture, dude. I fuck this one. Fuck this one up. The third AI. Yeah, that's it. We don't know what the third AI is. Probably in the next Xenoblade game. Wait, I remember now! Because the more Xenoblade goes on, the more it borrows from Xenogears and Xenosaga. Right? Like, too many elements matched up. Alvis, the architect, the multiple restarting the worlds and how they're connected, and eventually all these unused ideas Takahashi is going to add in Xenoblade 3. And that's about it. Do you guys have any finishing questions?
No, not really.
Yes, Mr. Ashley.
Who's the main character in like Xenoblade Saga
Xenoblade Saga?
or like Xenogears?
It followed multiple people. It was like a generational thing.
Oh, so
Because with the whole universe restarting over and over again, you go from protagonist to protagonist.
oh, like JoJo,
Yeah.
but not like the main family.
Yeah. Anyone? Yes, Mr. Chop.
So, what's New Game Plus like?
New Game Plus in which game?
2.
2. Fun fact, it was not there at release. There was no New Game Plus after release of Xenoblade 2. It had to be patched in during a later update. I do not know why. I guess they were kind of rushed near the end. Explains the fucking ending. But essentially, it's pretty cool. You know, you get to keep all your blades, right? But you gotta go through the shitty prologue. Then you get to have fun. Essentially, you have all your blades that you had as Rex. Everyone else don't really have that. But you keep all your items, all your equipment, you know, the usual Xenoblade New Game Plus.
So, do you get like Mithra and like Nia blade out of the gate, or?
No, you have to wait to your ultimate Rex to be able to use new one and shit.
It's just like your extras blades.
Oh, just the extra, you know, the free to play summon blades.
Yeah.
Yeah. why do they do? I never understood that. The gameplay, just like gameplay stuff about Xenoblade 2, it just feels like a watered down Xenoblade 1. You know, you only have like 4 arts. Sure, you can switch blades, but that has a like really lame timer to it, and it just feels bulkier, right? There's like, oh, I can toss them up, spin them, gravity. Like there's tons of weird stats effects, kind of like in Xenoblade 1, but Xenoblade 1 had this kind of seamless way of like going from action to action and action. Like you could totally do a ether-based team, which is like, you know, magic. You can do like a attack, stun-based team, a critical-based team, and I feel like a lot of that's kind of gone in Xenoblade 2, because you can just do crazy builds, right? And the super bosses are jokes. Like if you know how to build your character, you can kill any super boss in one chain attack. You can't do that in Xenoblade 1. Xenoblade 1's crazy. Like it's crazy hard, you know. Not like the game. The game you can like kind of breeze through it if you know what you're doing. But like getting to this like secret bosses are crazy. But essentially Xenoblade 2, yeah, it's a gacha system. You basically have to roll for your blades. You have to roll for new blades, and it's like really lame, and I hate it. Yes, Mr. Edward.
What was Xenoblade X generally about?
Basically, it's weird. You're in like the United States.
It's kind of like Star Ocean, where basically like humanity's gotta migrate because some shit happened, and now we gotta migrate to a new planet. It's kind of like Star Ocean in that regard.
Yeah,
like-
and then aliens show
It's
up
like the
and there's
end
problems.
of 2012.
Yeah, exactly. That's all.
So
Like
the whole
the
world-
story is like it's not even a big factor in that game. It's like you can sleep through that game. You'll be fine.
Does any elements come from like these games in that?
Kind of like there's no cool like Monado shit. There's no anime shit.
No type.
It's just sci-fi. Essentially, it's just sci-fi. It's a planet. No, there's no titans.
No clouds.
No
No,
clouds.
it's pretty much just like
Just
like
spin-off?
Xenoblade. It's like pretty much like Xeno.
The gameplay is Xenoblade in like a sci-fi world. There's still Nopons. There's still those like little cuddly guys, but that's it. They like use the races, and that's the whole game. But the gameplay is really cool. Like the whole world is really cool and detailed, but it's just
You
like
just can't play it with your friends.
yeah, it's not a Xenoblade game. In heart. Yes, Mr. Edwards.
How many people in like Xenoblade 2 can like how many people are mentioned that have a blade?
Everyone in your party has a blade.
Something.
So like everyone.
So
Except for the Nopon character. Tora. Except for Tora. Tora is not Chad enough to have a blade, so he makes his own blade. And he can only use that one blade. And you have to play a shitty mini game to upgrade that blade. It's the dumbest shit ever, but she is actually one of the most optimal blades ever. So it's so annoying. Yes,
Build a blade.
build a blade. You have to play an arcade game.
So is it like Zatch Bell, where it's like people just own these blades?
Yeah, but they're not that connected. Again, you know, they're
They
basically
just-
against like a really weird part of the game that I didn't expect from it is it's from Zeke. Zeke makes a reference that blades can be used as like sex, like they get sex trafficked, right? Because his blade was like I forgot her name. It's like the Thunder Blade. She could have been like, you know, captured and used as just like a sexual tool, which I find fucking crazy. You know, that this game even brought that shit up. That she was gonna be sold into like blade sexual slavery. Dude.
The blade brothel.
Yeah, the blade brothel.
Gets serviced by immortal waifus.
Immortal waifus, that's the thing.
When shit gets out of hand, you know,
Just kill it.
bring us the girl and wipe away the dead.
It's nuts. But you have to bond with it. That's the thing.
We're all blades like.
Yes,
Like-
all blades were timed.
I mean, like all blades have like personality or
Yes,
like,
they're
they're
all
all
girls.
girls.
They're not all girls.
Damn.
There are male blades.
There's male blades.
Yes.
Damn.
But most blades, for some reason, don't wear clothes. That's just like the character designer.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's anime.
When are we gonna get that Rex as a Blade DLC?
Is Rex gonna be in Smash? New segment? No, I don't think so. He's not.
I'm surprised that the story didn't make him become a Blade, or at least exhibit qualities of a Blade, considering that he's bonded to one in such a strange manner.
But again, not really.
Like,
oh,
his Monado.
what is there is weird. There's some weird spot like Malos gets like a Monado.
Yeah.
Like he has a Monado. Like he does Monado Cyclone from Xenoblade 1, and it's like, whoa, is the Monado in this game? No, it's not. It's only for that one segment.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you even? It's just fan service at that point. But I would say essentially that I feel like Xenoblade gets more and more like, I wouldn't say subsidized, but it just gets watered down. You know, it's a lot more simpler than it used to be. Like the whole, like I want to play the complete version of like Xenosaga, because that sounds like literal art, right? That's like such an ambitious, serious story would be honestly beautiful to play, but he just couldn't make that. So he just made like, you know, like more appealing games to the masses. And the worst part is, it's fucking work, dude. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Xenoblade didn't sell that well in Japan. No one in Japan fucked with Xenoblade. But European countries loved it, so that's why it got a port to the Wii. Yeah, Shala! Xenoblade 2 is extremely successful. I wonder why. You know, I wonder why. And it makes me really sad, because I feel like this is just sets a trend that Xenoblade as a series is going to be more and more dumbed down until it basically means nothing. It's like the Final Fantasy effect, essentially.
I mean, hopefully they make an actual Xenoblade MMO.
I don't
like temporary, like.
Yeah, that's what X feels like. X feels like an MMO that never got realized. It's strange.
I wanted to roll out with the bullets.
RPG. Yeah, exactly.
But I was disappointed when I should have researched it more, but I was disappointed when I found out that you can't actually co-op.
I spent $60.
So did I.
Take that away from my
I
dad.
convinced you to spend
Take that away from my
Wait,
dad.
No, you spent like 45. That was
How was it again?
I got
So
that for
it's-
Christmas.
It's multiplayer for like very specific missions.
Yes. It's very
It's
like, and they're like level 60 missions. So it's not even like halfway through the game you get to like play with your friends. No, it's like all the game you play by yourself, and
It's
these
like
like
fucking-
5 missions you get to play with your friends. It's doesn't make any sense.
That's why me and Jordan hated fucking Xenoverse, because like they advertise that shit like, oh, you have all these co-op missions that you can play with friends or whatever, and it's only like a few like bosses or whatever. It's like sucks.
Alright. And if I had to like recommend which games to play, Xenoblade, you know, always gonna be one of my favorite games of all time. Especially with its main message and its theming and just like the characters in general. I highly recommend Xenoblade 1. One of my
It's a
favorite games.
different color.
Colors are scattered all across the land.
Wait, so which Xenoblade was that?
Xenoblade 1. I give that at least like an
Oh yeah, it's
8 to a light 9 out of 10. Xenoblade 2 on the other hand,
has nothing to do with the canon. It's just it's this sci-fi one.
yeah. Xenoblade 2 on the other hand, this one's a mixed bag.
It's mediocre.
Yeah, it's the biggest mixed bag out of like Xenoblade. But I would say
Even to X?
X is just gameplay. Like there is no like real story. But I hear the gameplay is amazing. And looking at it, it does look fairly interesting. But it's on the fucking Wii U, for one. It's not on the Switch. It's not cool. And 2, I can't play with my friends, even though it looked like
It's
I could.
nice on the Wii U.
It doesn't look like shit, but it's like, man, if it was on the go, that would be amazing.
I mean, if they
All
port
you
it
have
to
to do-
both, yeah, full co-op.
That would be dope.
That's like a revamp and a half. That's like, you know, Mega Dimension.
That's like an
Neptunia 7
extended
VR.
edition. You know, that's like extended edition. Dude, that would be one of the funnest games if we could play together. If we all could all make different builds.
do a chain deck.
Dude, together with your friends.
Oh
my god, dude, that'd be freaking dope. But
And
no.
then we hate each other because somebody would mess up
Oh
the chain
my god,
attack.
you didn't press A in time. I don't care if there's lag, dog. You
The
fucked up.
latency.
The latency.
You
Oh, yeah.
missed the buff.
Where's my buff?
Xenoblade 2, I give like a 6. I love the game to death. It has a lot of good elements, but it's just such a mixed bag that's hard for me to super recommend it, but I really do like it. And for the Xeno shit, Xenogears and Xenosaga, play Xenosaga 3, because that's the only complete story, and it's fully explained, and it's the best one, because they put all of their effort in telling one episode, and it worked out pretty beautifully. But all the other ones are shit. Xenogears is alright. And yeah, that's the end of the lecture. Yes, Miss Oakley.
Alright.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to
Like, comment, subscribe. Okay. If you want to actually know what I thought about your guys' performances during the lecture, Dominic, you were the best student, hands down. You connected the dots, you asked a bunch of questions, you wanted to clarify stuff. It really warmed my heart that you got that thing at Xenoblade 2, the ending of Xenoblade 2, when everything becomes one landmass. That was extremely impressive. I give you like a solid A. Irving, you did alright, but you're just quiet. You know, you're always kind of just in the background. So I'll give you like a solid C. You know, Raymond, you asked a little bit more questions than Irving. I'll give you like a C. Maceo, you like barely talked, but when you talked, you said some pretty cool stuff. So I give you like a C-.
Oh, a C-.
Because you barely even talked. Irving talked more than you.
I don't have questions to ask.
There we go. That's the end. Let's wrap it up.
I'm used to reading JoJo, so it's like when I see something.
No, we gotta take a picture of it, dude.
It's on video.
Oh, it's on. Well, no one has. Dominic, take out your phone. Take out your phone.
know.
Take a picture of it. Take out your phone.
Do I cut it?
Nah, it's
Just cut it.